Well, hey there, and welcome to Home Hangout number 15. Hope you're doing well. It is Friday, so happy Friday to you. We have got some cool games lined up for this week. Don't forget, join us over on the Discord if you want to chat more about this sort of stuff, get some tips, some insights, all that kind of good stuff regarding building games and some interesting news. Good to see you all here in the chat. What is up? Let's dive straight into things. So coming up today, we have got a ton of new releases, picked out some interesting ones. Those who've been around these streams for quite a while know that we used to look at the charts a lot more, and I'm going to bring that back a little bit, probably on a separate stream over in the next few months. Going to have a chart rundown show during probably one of the weeks out of the month, maybe towards the end of the month, to have a look down the chart, see what's going up and down, just so we can keep our eyes on the charts. So stay tuned for that. There'll be an email in your inbox with all the details for that. And yeah, good to see you all here. Khan, good to see you. What is up? Homa is in the house. So good. Let's jump straight into things today. We've got a lot of games to go through. Let's come and check out what we have in store. So new games from Voodoo. Let's start off with that right now. Royal Defense. So looks like another levelly up type game here. Using the FPS view or the FPV view. Obviously a shooter. But it looks kind of like they're using the realistic graphics as well, which is, I'm kind of always torn about these realistic type graphics. Kind of difficult to pull off, but I think we should play this one today. Let's see what it is that's going on from the Voodoos. It looks like a tower defense-ish type of game, where we're just basically going to upgrade our weapons and shoot all the baddies coming towards that castle there. Can we say semi-realistic graphics are rising again? Can we say that? We can. I don't know. Maybe. I think it suits some games better than others, right? The jury's completely out for me. I don't enjoy them as much as like the sort of cartoony sort of graphics for me, but some games they kind of fit. I don't know. Can we say they're coming back? Maybe. I mean, they do look different to all the other sort of hyper-casual type games that we've typically been seeing for all of last year and most of this year. So, potentially, apart from, I guess, like Boombit release a lot of realistic type car games, and we saw that one from Ketchup a little while ago where it was all realistic, but yeah, a few car games. Yeah, definitely the Boombit do a lot of car games that are realistic. Whether they're coming back or not, I'm not sure. I mean, if anything, like we're seeing sort of 2D kind of making a comeback as well. So maybe let's keep an eye on it. But that's why we do these shows, right? To see what's coming back and see if we can jump on something. We see these trends appearing, not only in mechanics and styles and genres, but also the sort of the art styles and all of that, right? So that was Royal Defense from Voodoo. We will check that one out today. Knife ASMR looks kind of real fun. A classic hyper-casual type game, this one. On the same lines as Slice It 3D or even Knife Hit, I guess. Not Knife Hit. What's the other one? God damn it. Always forget the name. But we might fire this one up as well today because I'm kind of intrigued by this one. I think what you do, you tap and you try and time it and it flicks up and slices all these fruits down the other side. So it's kind of a left to right type thing, which is kind of novel, but a classic hyper casual where it's just a little bit of fun. Looks like there's some sort of bonus level there, which looks kind of nice. But how deep this goes, I'm unsure. And where you take that, apart from skinning up the different... So we've got donuts and cakes and we've got fruits. You know, you could go quite a long way with the different types of things you're slicing, but whether that will motivate you to continue is another matter entirely. But as a pure hyper casual, that one looks pretty decent. Now, Army Defense here is very much more of a hybrid, I would say, from the looks of it. And a very deep gameplay by the looks of things here. Isn't it a kind of clicker? I don't know. Like, so yeah, I should always preface this. I don't know any of these games. I've never played any of them. I've just looked at the screenshots when I've been flying about and chosen the ones that look interesting, different, or look well built. And I came across this one. I said about the night. Yeah, I get it. I don't know what the gameplay is. It might be a clicker. Who knows? But yeah, maybe we'll find out on that one. So this one looks a lot deeper in terms of. It looks like a tower defense again. Now, we've said that quite a few times. We said it twice today already. So this looks pretty decent to me. Looks pretty into one. It is definitely a tower defense. So this one looks pretty decent to me. We've got a level progression bar at the top of the screen there with the little bullets, which is nice to see that themed up. So again, all the links are in the description, by the way, if you want to go and check out any of these games. If you're watching on the replay, you should have been here live, obviously. Shame on you, but you can get the links down below and it will all be timestamped for you shortly after we finish today. But that was Army Defense from Katsuaryna. So glad I butchered that name. Level Up Balls from Mert, Filiz. We're going to play this one today. So this is like a classic runner, which is, you know, as we head towards 2023, the runner genre, although a staple and always familiar, and if you do a good one, they can do really, really well. We've seen the saturation of the runner genre this year, and I think you've got to do something pretty special to create a game that can stand the test of time longer than like 6 weeks or whatever, right? But I thought this was really interesting because a lot of the times we've said in the past that whilst these runners, some of them are pretty good, they all follow this linear path. And we said time and time again, can you just like fork the road off a little bit or give the player some agency so they can make a decision whether to go one way or another? And to a certain degree, Shortcut Run really did that well, where you felt like you were cheating if you could like cut across the path. But this is kind of a little bit more static, but it gives you the option to go left or right, which I think is really interesting in terms of level design and keeping it kind of taking a fresh sort of more active role in the game rather than just a left and right runner, because there are in reality are pretty boring now because there's just been so many. So this one caught my eye because it has this it looks like the path here zigzags around, and this screenshot's a really good indication of the way that the tracks are laid out, so it gives you some more choices. So I think we should play this one today. This could be pretty good. So it looks like a typical Colour Road type runner, right? This has got a sniff of the old Tasty Pill colour line about it as well. But I think the level design here looks really interesting, so I'm not quite sure what to make of this one. Colour palette is fantastic, super vibrant, super contrasty. Very nice indeed. Looks well built, so we should definitely check this one out and see what they're doing. They've got a ton of screenshots as well. So who knows? But I think that's kind of cool to see these tracks like this. Gives it a little bit more interest inherently. So we're going to play that one today. Fury Road by Own Games is also realistic. Is it really? I don't know that game. What is up? Paul from Own Games, by the way. Looks neat. It does look neat, doesn't it, Jules? All right, so Pixel Fever, new from Play Holding. This one looks like a mixture between the mad pixel destructions that we're seeing and Cut the Rope. So I guess this one could be quite interesting as well. So you see at the top of your screen there, you've got the spinny round blade there, which will obviously be swinging left and right, and you're using the Cut the Rope mechanic to slice the rope and let that spinning blade fall down to bash up the burger here. So I think that one looks kind of a good idea. It looks kind of good fun. I guess it has two different types of mechanics. Paint the road and eat lower level others. Yeah, I think you're right there. So I think you, on the other game, on that, what was it called? Oh my goodness. On Level Up Balls. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you you run over people with the height. It's got the number multiplier type thing where you eat the players up and stuff. So this one, I mean, the screenshots are very basic, but as a pure hyper casual prototype, you shouldn't expect nothing else. That's what we want to be doing. You know, when we're thinking about the prototypes, you know, most of the big studios that see success are doing 2.5 prototypes a month. So they keep their process lean. And of course, the more prototypes you release, the more lottery tickets you're essentially buying, right? At some point, you'll come up with an idea that something clicks into place. So we have to give them a little bit of slack when we see these screenshots. These are not full release games, right? They're just prototypes testing the market. But that one looks quite good to me. All right, Discover the City. Let's have a look at this one. From, I'm not saying that word, but we got a video on this one, which is cool. This looks really neat to me. This looks unusual. Squeeze me. And I don't actually know how you play, but what's good about the video, you really understand what the game's about. So whilst we can't understand exactly what the gameplay is, I guess you're just building up your money and you're tapping on these tiles here to unlock. So you're tapping on the 25s and whatnot, and you're expanding your city that way. So I think this is kind of neat. I think it looks fun, this one. There's loads of ways you can go with this one. It is the most interesting I saw today, right? Yeah, it's very different, right? But really simple. And these are the sort of games where you see them and you think, oh, I wish I'd have thought of that. It's so easy. So yeah, I think we should. Well, the link's in the description for you, whether we get to it or not. But I thought this was kind of fun. You could take this quite a few places, I would imagine. Whether what you unlock after the area we're looking at on this video, what happens then? Maybe you join to a different town. I don't know, but you can see you can take that quite a few places as well. So that one looks kind of cool. Next from Sunday.gg, we have a dozer and a miner fused together. So again, a coin dozer and a claw type mechanic. Kind of interesting. Very busy on the screenshots. But, you know, looks kind of interesting. What's up, Merv? Good to see you. So yeah, a lot of these ones we're just highlighting up, and you can get the links and you check them out in your own time. These are the ones that look kind of curious. FUBU. So a Spider-Man grapple type mechanic. Interesting level design here with multi-levels. Looks like you got to pick up the grapples as well, which is kind of fun. Since it's on Sunday's account, we can assume it's already in launch, right? I think that's a safe assumption. Yeah. Pretty much, I think that's a safe assumption. So it's hit the numbers with that. But it kind of mixes those two things together, which is kind of a good recipe for success, you'd imagine, anyway. So that grapple, I just want to just cover that again. Looks kind of weird and interesting to me. I can't quite work out what I like about this, but there's something... I think that's all into how it plays, this one. So it might be worth playing that, see what the controls are like. Could be very satisfying, because who doesn't want to like swing around like Spider-Man? Let's face it. Getting towards the end of the ones, this one we're going to play today, because I think this looks super interesting. Definitely more of a casual type game rather than a typical hyper casual. We've seen in the whole market lean, a little bit more hybrid this year now. The hyper casual, there is still an abundance of hits to be had with hyper casual games. They are not dead or anything like that. They never will be. There will always be the appetite for the pick up and play games. But the hybrid casuals which are coming in now, taking the best of hyper casual, it's definitely worth considering those bigger titles when you're looking to develop some games and looking at what you can build. But these parking games have been bigger, have been really popular since forever. They dominated the App Store I want to say back in 2015, 16, so 6 years ago, your top 200 would have 30 or 40 of these parking type games, from supercars to tanks to everything. What you could name it, lorries, especially like the big juggernauts parking games. People love them. Like I said, it was the App Store was half the top 200 would fill with parking games. So there's definitely a popular mechanic that could see a resurgence. But this boat one looks pretty nice, right? Very busy on the screenshots. But it looks like there's some interesting twists here. The environment, can we say semi-realistic is back? Well, this is definitely semi-realistic. But who knows, you know. It's horses for courses a lot of the time. Some of the games work better with the cartoon style. Some of them work better with this sort of... The water looks really good in this. So I think we should check that one out today, because I haven't played a parking game forever. Just years back, we released 2 or 3 of our own parking games that did pretty well for us. We had an ambulance one, and I don't know what else we had. A taxi one, I think. So that's boat parking. We'll probably play that. New from Rollic. Now, this is another typical runner, but this is charting pretty well right now. Certainly on Google Play. It was top 50 this morning. And I don't know really what to make of this one. We're picking up different shapes. It's very difficult to say exactly what we've got to do here. But Rollic are pumping this, and it's doing okay right now. Whether or not it will stay around is a totally another matter. Obviously got the number multipliers. Looks like we're going downhill a little bit there as well. But real pure hyper casual colours. My textbook. So yeah, I mean, this doesn't look massively interesting to me, which is why when we're saying about can runners still work at this, you know, at the end of 2022, sure. But you've really got to do something slightly unusual and different to stand out. Alright, let's just ban that dude there. Ta-da, mate. Apologies if someone wanted to do private dating chat, girls. Hopefully that will stop now. God damn it. On that note, let us go to the next one, which is new from SayGames. Okay, so puzzles are going to be something to keep an eye on in the next 6 months, I'd say. We're seeing a lot of puzzles being tested right now. Very much straight down the middle in terms of demographics. Male, female, I mean. Gender. Oh my god, that was difficult. So yeah, appeals to many people. This all spans across all demographics, really, is what I think what I was trying to say. And yeah, kind of like the hyper puzzles. Difficult not to make them too easy and too difficult. There's a lot of balancing in the puzzles, and you want to make it really familiar. But we've seen SayGames really trying to emulate sort of the popcorn model in terms of keeping these really like hyper puzzles going. And this one looks kind of cool. I don't actually know what you got to do. What have you got to do here? What's this game called? Flexy Ring. I mean, I don't actually know what you got to do here. Which I think is a fail for the screenshot. So we can move. No idea. Does anyone know? I have no idea. Are they like elastic bands or something? I have zero clue. But that's new from SayGames, so you got to imagine there's some good quality there, even though I has no ideas. Who is that spanner? That spanner. That spanner. The spanner was banned. So yeah, there we go. It happens. And last but not least, doing super well, certainly on Google Play today, is this one from Elictus, top 5 game. I think it was number 3 when I looked. A simulation game. We've seen plenty of haircut games, but this one looks really neat. Looks really good fun. They've got all the steps and the processes here. And I think these ones are really good when they're built this well. You know, you can really see why people like them. So good on Alictus for doing that. Looks really good fun. You got to copy the haircut from the picture above the dude's head. It's got a really nice progression there, showing you how well you're doing and what's coming next. I really like that. I think they built that really nicely, and this one is doing especially well on Google Play right now. But yeah, they look like they've pulled off the tech there, so very cool indeed. Alrighty, so without further delay, let's go and check out some games. If you haven't liked that video right now, you should definitely like the video. That's what I reckon. And we're going to play level up balls today. So do hit that like button, hit the subscribe, all that kind of nonsense, and let's get into playing some games. And we're going to check it. You can see I've downloaded a ton because I still can't decide what we're going to play today. But let's have a look at this level up balls because, oops. Right, before I forget, I am going to kill all that. And we're going to go on to airplane mode so we don't get bombarded with adverts. And let's try that again. Alright, so Rollic Tinyverse Games. I'm going to have to press some buttons here. So I have never played these games before. Like I said, I've just looked at the screenshots and picked out ones that look interesting purely from their assets that I've come across either on like the Sensor Tower or perhaps seen a video or something. We're not here to flame anybody. We're here to load them up and see what they're doing right, see what they're doing wrong. What do we like? Is there anything in these games that we can take into the games that we're building? Have they done something that's interesting that you could adopt? Finding out what we don't like is just as important as finding out what we do like half the time. So if we flame anybody, we are not here to upset anybody. So we don't mean it. We're just trying to be honest, and feel free at any point to leave your comments in that chat box if you want to talk about a particular part of what we're playing, or indeed just say hello. What is up, Simon? Good to see you here in that chat. So straight into the game, we've got a shop on the right. Absolutely pointless since I've never played the game. Unless I want to check out the shop and I can get that thing, but I don't know how to play the game, so it's kind of pointless for me. I would remove the shop until we get enough money to buy something. Just get us straight into the game. But hey, maybe some people would like to buy something before ever playing the game. Who knows? Tap to start. Let's go. Alright. So, simple left and right controls. We're gobbling up the smaller numbers. Very easy first level. Left and right, swerve mechanic. Very nice controls, I have to say. Very much colour road, end of level. Nice to hear a little bit of sound there as well. So here's our new skin. A typical levelling up system. And we can multiply from the gamified rewarded video down there, which we can choose. But we'll go no thanks, obviously. Oh, I missed the levels up. Alright. So let me know in the chat, have you built a runner before? Have you ever built a runner? Let me know. This looks very standard to me right now, but we'd expect the first few levels to be nice and easy on us, just to get us into the game and figure out what's happening. Certainly well built, give them that, but you know, 2022 kind of should be really if you're trying a runner, I would say. GUI's pretty nice. So what have we got here? Level up. Income. Oh, I see. Okay, so that's base level. Alright. I sent you my last attempt on Slack channel, if you remember. Oh, okay, Ken. Yeah, I do remember. This is the one we spoke about, right? Oh, dude, your game looked awesome. I do. Of course I remember. But yeah. So you had the one with the monsters, right? So Ken's on our private Slack channel, which of course if you want to publish your game with us, we are here to help you test your games, and we'll pay for all the testing and that, and part of that you get part of our private Slack channel where Ken shared his stuff with me earlier in the week. So the links are below, by the way, if you want to go and check that out. Thinking about testing a game. So what are we on here? So I've got no indication of where I am in the game. Oh, level 4. Okay. So what are we thinking so far? Looks pretty run-of-the-mill. And this is kind of what I'm saying about having to stand out on these runners. What would be my motivation to keep playing this? You know, what emotions am I feeling right now? Because if anyone's played any games in the App Store, you probably played something very similar to this. So what is it? What's this one gonna do, or what's your game gonna do to think, oh, or why am I gonna keep playing? What's the motivation for me to continue? Because there's so many others out there. Curious about when more roads will come in. Yeah, me too. So I was hoping we might have seen that a little bit sooner. We are on. I mean, I don't know what to press it. We are on level 5. So you kind of think level 5, level 6 is typically when we want to start seeing a bit of a change up, right? Try and keep us interested through something else happening within the game to keep it fresh and something to hold our attention. Again, it comes back to that motivation I was saying. Why are we continuing playing? You know, I don't want to keep doing this for intimate. I mean, the levels are quite short as well. Sam, you're late. Well, shame on you. That is all right. We'll let you off. I wonder in what level you need to get where the roads are separate. Exactly. So right now we've got a really typical sort of runner that's not really bringing anything to the table other than the sort of swallowing up of the smaller numbers. I would like to see level 6 for me. This should be where we should start. Keep forgetting those level ups. We should start seeing something here for me. And this all goes back to game pace, right? Have they got the pace? Oops. Well, that's cool though. Have they got the pace right? Have they judged the timing of the game and the new stuff that's coming in? Because we've got a few different sort of what do you call it, like obstacles coming in now. But honestly, it's very vanilla at the moment for me. The end of level is not very engaging. It's okay. But overall, I'm kind of not over bothered right now. I mean, what do you guys think? You think it's looking pretty good? Let's do some of these things as well. Oh, alright, so we are on level 7. We are getting a little bit faster, which is nice. I mean, the controls are really good. So I've got to give them kudos for the controls. But, I mean... you tell me. I mean, this is my problem with it right now. It needs to, like, when we're thinking about these sort of games, you really want to front load your content. You want to give them a lot of wow. You know, a lot of the time, we don't have we'll lose the opportunity to show how cool our game is if we don't get this first few levels. We're not engaged enough in the first few levels, right? Fine so far. I couldn't see anything remarkable. Looks clean, but a bit slow. I like the ending. Yeah, I think all that's fair. Listen, and this is why I said we're not here to flame anyone. There's nothing wrong with this. They built it really nicely. It's perfectly good. We've got a change in background here, which is neither here nor there. But this is all right. There's nothing wrong with it. But I really think you need to try and be a little bit more remarkable. That's my point. So instead of going, oh, wow, we're going, right? So the motivation to continue at this point, even 8 levels in, I'm kind of not bothered, even though I'm rubbish, clearly. I mean, I don't know. And like I said, I'm not trying to be overly harsh. I'm just saying what I think. High quality game, interesting combination of mechanics. I like it. Yeah, that's fair enough. Nothing new really, quite boring in my opinion, says Panos. At level 4, my game's lose ratio was 50-50. At level 4, Can was saying so people were bailing on level 4. Is that right, Can? Wow. And I think that speaks to what my point was about front loading the excitement in your game, right? Now, what about if you're at level 4, you had something epic happened, right? And again, it comes back to the motivation. Why am I continuing to play? What am I getting? What am I feeling? Why would I bother? You know, and it's the same for any type of game that we play. Half the users were gone. So Can saying he had a very similar game to this. In actual fact, Can, I don't mind me saying, I think your Monsters one looked a lot better than this game. Looked way more interesting. But after level 4, the users were gone. And it's not that there's anything wrong with it. It's that we've seen it all before. Now the speed, whether or not the updates I just did have definitely made it slightly more interesting. I got to give him the level design is pretty good. It feels quite nice. But why am I carrying on? And I really want to try and drill that home because we're playing a runner, right? And it's even, oh my god, it's even more important when we're talking about runners that have been done to death, right? Because it's just not bringing anything new to the table. Build it somehow, a teaser of what's to come so the player knows what. Yeah, exactly, Colette. Build in. That's exactly right. So right now the motivation is to get a new skin, right? Of which from that new skin we know we got to watch a rewarded video. So what colour are we? Right, we've got a red ball now. Would a blue ball be enough to keep me playing? Oh, I really want to get that blue ball. I think you'll probably find the answer is no. So you want to start thinking about this stuff. What's coming next, says Colette. And that's why when we see the level progression bars at the top of the screen there that show you where you're heading to, which this doesn't have. So we've got no idea. We've got no idea where we are in the game. We're on level 10, but we could be on a level 110 because there's nothing really changing. And it's these small tweaks here that I think can go a long way to keeping people, like Can said, don't bail at level 4. Show them what's coming next. Give them a sneak peek or give them some cool stuff, which is what I mean when we say front load the content. Give them some cool stuff to make them stick around, right? So we're on level 10, not that anyone would really remember. Let's see what happens now, because if they're not changing it on level 5, which is default, but maybe, as Can said, maybe level 4 is a better way to up the pace a bit more. But level 10, we should definitely see a change here. Otherwise, I think it's going to be game over for me. So these leveling ups are they're all right. I mean, I don't really care. And we've got the same background. We've got a few different baddies here, but nothing has really happened to give any kind of wow effect here. I mean, the gobbling up of these smaller balls is not massively satisfying. And this one here, I think, could be a lot more juicy. And the way I want to explain that is I couldn't care how high I get on this one. Now, some of the ones I do. You really want to get your high score. You really want to get bigger or higher or faster than you did before. But this one, it doesn't do anything, right? So level 12. So still none of those cool things in the screenshots. And I think what is annoying about that is because I really like those screenshots and I'm on level 12 and I've still not seen one. So how about on level 5 you throw us in a bonus level that gives us loads of different variations of track to go down, right? Now all of a sudden, because I've got that new track with the exciting level design in it on level 5, I want to play until I get another one. Hence the motivation to continue. I don't mind grinding through the boring stuff because it was really fun doing the different paths and stuff. Get my point? Do you get me? Legend says no one ever saw those split roads. Well, that's exactly it, Can. Because the trouble is, it looks like they got a really good system there. But no one ever sees them because you waited too long. You're so precious about leaving all the good stuff for people who really love your game. Honestly, front load it in. Level 3 bonus, multi-tracks, wow, right? That kind of stuff. So I really want you to not hold back on your cool stuff. If you get to the point where you run out of content and run out of cool stuff, what a great problem to have to go ahead and build new stuff. Even better. But right now, level 13, we've not seen one split in the track, which was the only thing that I found remotely interesting about this game. And again, I'm sorry if this is you built this, you built it really nicely. But I don't know how long I'm going to wait here. We'll give it 2 more goes. I'll forget what level we're on because it makes no difference to me whatsoever. And I'm saying all this because I want you to avoid the same mistakes, right? I want you to ensure that you're thinking about this stuff when you're built. Oh, here we go, look. Bonus, alright. Okay, that was massively underwhelming. Level 14 and we got a bonus side road. Alright. Now, I think if you're going to do that, you should take hold of the player and make it all go golden and fancy and whooshy and make it a little bit longer. Oh my goodness, we waited all that time for that. Alright, well, yeah. We broke the legend there, Ken. It does exist. It's not stuff of fairy tales and legends. But I mean, if you guys, the links are below, like I said, if you want to carry on and try and find it. But out of 10, if you're first time here, what do you think out of 10 for this game? There's the vote. I've given it long enough. We waited 17 years for that little bonus level, which I think was massively too little, too late. 8.5 out of 10. That's surprisingly high for me. I mean, like I said, there's nothing wrong with this. They built it really well. The controls are really nice. I mean, this should almost be the default screen, this speed here. This is actually kind of... Oh, what's this? Oops. Okay. Alright. Level 16. Okay. First time live. What is up, Elbow? Good to see you here. Glad you are live. Good man. So we got an 8.5, we've got a 6, we've got 5, we've got a 6 from Sam, 5 for Panos, 7 for Colette. You guys are scoring this way higher than I thought you would. If you haven't, by the way, put a number in the chat. Do that now before we go on to the next one. Let me know, trying to get a feel of the room. What's your score? Doesn't matter. You could love it. Could be a 10 out of 10 for you. I just wish the game had started on this level because this is actually kind of good fun. The speed is a lot nicer. We got some interesting things happening. I would have just... This should be level 5 for me. I guess you're expecting 3. I was expecting a 5. I think it's definitely middle of the road. I think it's got some good ideas hidden away behind a ton of a boring runner, if I'm honest. But that's just my point of view. Finally a Rama game, I'm sure. Okay. So there we go. The links are down below. It's not a bad version of a runner game. Unfortunately for me, on level, what were we on? Level 18. And I would say, how long have we been playing this? Someone let me know. I reckon probably around 20 minutes. And we've seen 2 of these bonus little things. And I think that's too little, too late. But there we go. So that was Level Up Balls. So, let's have a look at the Voodoo one real quick, which is Royal Defense. I'm going to have a quick slurp. JBM 360. I do not recognise that studio. Okay. Right. Straight into the game. Long enough to prove the legends were wrong. Well, only just though. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, a 20-minute playtime on a game is like pretty much off the charts, right? 20 minutes. That is not typical. So, reminds me of the Super Cent game. Not this one. Okay. Oh. Solo ranking. Oh, I don't know that game at all. So, just so you know, joystick control, kind of like push down on the screen to move my arrow around here like you'd expect, like an FPS. Weird, some weird misty angles there for the mountains. Just saying. Not that I was trying to pick holes in this, but that's kind of weird, right? And it auto fires when I hold the screen down. So this is just target practice. So what I like about this is that we're playing, it's leading us in and it's teaching us how to play without any problem with dying or anything. So there's a no lose type of thing here, no pressure. We just learn how to play, which I really like. And that's a little target. Now the wave's in. All right. Oh my god, all right. That's a lot of fiddly shooting here. All right, pretty easy though. All right. So, obviously now this is all about leveling up and doing bigger and better guns, right? It would generate $1 lifetime value, would it? Remove balls with ninjas. And that's solo ranking. Okay. I don't know that game at all. And it's derailing me because I think I do know, but I'm not sure. All right, so let's have a look. Well, health we're not worried about. Let's do the fire rate because that's... Oh, they got a map. Oh, my God. Oh, I love it. Okay, so can we scroll this? No. So, fight what? Choose anyone as your defense. We can get a bomb for a video. So, archers or swordmen? All right, who's on today? Come on, let me know in that chat. If you click the like button, by the way. Once you click the like button, do swordman or archer in the chat. I can have another slurp. And let's see what this one's all about. I kind of want to do swordman, actually. Anybody? Anybody there? Hey, well done, Ken. Good man. So, anyone else? Archers. Alright. Archers. Well done, Sam. Okay, let's do archers then. I kind of want to do swordmen though. But we're doing it. So, we got some dudes that... Oh, it has got a little bit of sound. We're definitely firing faster, which is good. I'd love to know how this plays on a phone because it's quite fiddly. And there's a lot of these dudes. Oh, okay, so the archers are helping me on the castle. Okay. Oh, bit of sound effects. I want to see goblin. Okay, sure. Level complete. 10% progression. Pretty good. Level 2. The map seems weird to me, this one. So it wants me to do the fire rate, which I'm going to do, and health. So I like the little pointers here. Very helpful. And spearman. I'm going to go swordman. Just damn. Oh, okay. Oh, this is neat. Okay. So what's really good about this is the increased fire rate really shows how nerfed it was at the start because this is actually a lot easier now. It's kind of cool. I bet the playtime on this is really nice. You kind of want to keep doing it. Archery. Where did these dudes come from? Yeah, no doubt we might get a machine gun S type thing. Oh, more waves. Alright. That's a lot of dudes. But I think I'm pretty much bossing it. Check my bad self out. Crushing it. Alright, spoke too soon. Excuse me, sir. Bit of Final Fantasy music there. Okay. I mean, it really wants me to do this fire. It kind of looks like a new take on tower fence. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Which I kind of like. I'm going to do the... Right. Is it just pointing to that because it's the most expensive? I think that's what it was doing. Let's go for archers this time. So I think we were talking about the... Hold on a minute. We've got ninjas here. We were talking about the realistic graphics. This looks kind of very much a mix of the two, right? And I think it actually works quite nice for this one. I appreciate a little bit more detail. What do you guys think of the graphics? Let me know after you've hit the like button there. Because you might as well hit that like button because it helps me out a ton. Makes me... Well, it just makes me happy, let's face it. Alright. Blimey. Oh, it's a little bit... Yeah... I don't know. Rapidly increasing difficulty. Yeah, it looks like they got the pace of the difficulty right. I'm not actually sure I personally enjoy this this game mechanic. It's kind of fiddly for me. And my arm is kind of hurting already. It might be better on a phone. It works because of the contrast. Yeah. I think the graphics are pretty good on this. They're better than I thought they were going to be. This map's weird though. Because we're not actually moving. I don't actually understand this map. And if you give me a map, at least let me move around on it. So health is not really important. Damage of 1 times... We kind of won... I don't know. Can easily get repetitive. Well, I'm feeling like it's repetitive right now. And we're on level 4. And everything's upgrading nice. And no doubt the better fire rate we get, the more fun it is. Which is always the danger when we nerf everything at the start. To make it feel really impactful when we do level up. It's just... I just played on the phone. Controls pretty good. Thanks, Claire. Appreciate that. Yeah, I think it would be less strenuous on the phone. There's a lot more screen to move around on in this one. I kind of want to love it more and I've got no good reason why I don't. And it's probably just a very personal thing. They've certainly built it well. So I hope this one does well for you, Voodoo. I'd love to see more games like this. I think moving over to the more casual games is a huge step in the right direction. For sure. And one more wave. I've got one dude left there, so I'm getting a bit of a battering from my defences. You're definitely very much an arcade involved in this game. Kind of a lot of concentration. That's just me probably. Oh, this feels a bit like homework to me. What are you guys thinking? 10-2. Oh my god. I blame that runner for being so slow to give us some interest. I'm going to call it. I know we haven't played a lot of time on that. It always happens like that. We definitely get the idea of this one. I think they've done really well. I'd like to see where it goes. Oh, we get a bomb. Alright. Where do we get the bomb? Oh, so the bombs are like static things. Okay. So I really want to get these dudes before they hit that bomb. Or do I shoot the bombs? Alright. Oh, that's kind of fun. The bombs are good. It's a 6 out of 10. It's a 6 for Sam. It's a 6. A 7 for Ilya. It would be nice to have more weapons for a change and not stressed on archery. Yeah, I think it leads you up to the leveling up, right? So it's always going to be tricky to get that balance on these because it's kind of boring at the start, but it has to be. There's a lot of balancing acts going on. I don't know why I don't like it as much as I want to like it. I just want to like it more, and for some reason I don't. But it's a very cool idea. So if you haven't voted, vote now real quick before we go on to the last one today. I really want to get your opinions here because I'm not trusting my own judgment on this one. I kind of want something else to happen. And I don't know what. I mean, I guess we should see what happens when we die as well. Maybe we will die. We're just about to get to level 6. Oh, I did it anyway, right? See what these big dudes do. See if we can lose. I like the other tower defense games where you click on a group of enemies and it auto fires that cluster so you can focus on the next. Yeah, exactly, Colette. So it's like a playable tower defense, which is, I love a good tower defense. We mentioned this on previous streams. I played, Field Runners and what's the Kingdom Rush and all of that. Jelly Defense. I played a ton of them, got pretty addicted to them. But you place down your turrets and it auto fires and you kind of watch it and you kind of just like press into upgrade stuff rather than control it. I just don't know whether or not I want to play a full-on tower defense myself. Okay, we'll have a wall. But pretty cool. I think this has got a lot of chops. So that was that from Voodoo. 67s from that. So good for that. I think that was just about to start getting interesting as we're heading towards that tower. So well done, Voodoo. And let's have a quick look at this boat parking. Oh my goodness. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. All right. In Clash, we control that the turret in a bonus level. That would work here to change the pace. Yeah, Elbow. I'm glad you mentioned that because that's the sort of thing. When you get these games that are repeating so much, throw us in like a spark of fun, right? Because that wasn't. That's a really good point because that wasn't much fun. It felt, I think I said it felt a little bit grindy, a little bit like homework. It wasn't very satisfying and fun. And you needed the bigger explosions and a more looser gameplay mode to make that a little bit more lighter and a little bit more fun for me. A bonus level would work really well there, or some kind of, even some sort of spinny thing where you could get like a special weapon for that one level just for fun. I think that would have worked well. All right, boat parking. Forward and reverse down the bottom here with the steering wheel. I'm going to be rubbish at this. All right, and of course it's a boat, so we've got they've done the water really well. Oops. All right. So pretty standard. But yeah, I think it lacked fun for me, that Voodoo one. Balloons 2D, there we go. Balloons 2D, I always forget that one. Yeah, I like that one too, Colette. All right, so really, did I just go straight into a blooming? I didn't even see those cones. All right. I didn't see the cones. Meteor shower. Yeah, it kind of wanted to be a little bit more fun, right? Oh my god, I'm going to be horrible at this. Alright. So I didn't see the cones, honest. That's why I crashed. There we go. Oh, come on now. This was... Why am I not... Oh, what happened there? I was right in the middle of the thing, right? I do have a driving license, honestly. Jill will tell you, I can drive normally, just about. So I think for these parking ones, they need to be a little bit more generous. So I'm in the thing. I did kind of. I was already in that square. No lose when you hit obstacles. Yeah, exactly. So that should stop, right? Why am I not stopping there? And that's not reversing. So is that stop? Okay, that's super weird. So for me, no, I am not the captain. Don't give me the captain's hat or whatever. The instructions are good. So if you can see down the bottom there, where I am now on that second line or notch up on the forward and backwards controller, that there is stop. Now I would imagine, for me, I thought that should be stop, right? Because that is in the middle of forward and reverse. So for me, I'm a little bit disappointed at that. So that is actually stop now, and that is reverse. So I'm a little bit annoyed with that. The water is very cool. Okay. Oops. So yeah, I think that's a little bit disappointing. So we should be good now, right? Or am I going to crash into that stuff? So here we go. All right, I'm just slightly on the edge there. But I think if you're doing this is where I don't think this is from a hyper casual developer. And I think what's so good about where the market is heading in terms of being more hybrid and being a little bit more in-depth games coming our way is that as a if you understand hyper casual, it leaves you in such a good place as a game designer, because these little things are the stuff that really matters, of being non-punitive, right? I could argue just about that we're not inside the grid there, but this should have been level complete. And this is one thing that hyper casual taught us. That is too punitive there. You know, we want to make it, certainly these first few levels, if we get inside the square and we can see we're in, then we're in. And don't, I felt cheated there. This way, this water makes me want to go sailing instead. The water's really good. But you get my point, right? As hyper casual, look how the game is so much more fun when it's less punitive. We're not trying to do. Why am I not going backwards right now? Yeah, that's a bit buggy, that was. But you can get my. Hopefully, you can get my point here, right? As a game designer, because you know what we need to do for hyper casual, and this enables us to be such better game designers because we get the basics just right. And I don't think these guys have done it, unfortunately. So I should be winning now. Alright, fair shout. But you see my point. Before we were definitely just about on that line. Not sure what depth requires so many stars to rate this gameplay. Not sure what depth requires so many stars to rate this gameplay. You're going to have to rephrase that for me. Alright, so with the level, I kind of really want to play this two-handed as well, to make it easier to play. Where's the, here we go. So they've only built it well, the water's real nice, it's a lot easier two-handed, which I'm, as he says, he broke straight into the dock there. It's definitely a two-handed game, which I'm not used to, because of the hyper-casualness of it all. So let's see if it's a little bit more generous now. Come on. Alright. After you stop the throttle, the ship will keep moving a bit, so you've got to account for that, not hyper casual. Well, this is where I think the opportunity lies, because it's more fun. We're not looking for a total boat simulator. I mean, maybe these guys are, but surely if you want a total boat simulator, you should be going onto your computer to play it. Alright, how do I get to that then? I'm super bamboozled right now. How do we get... Am I going to bust through this boat? I am out of control. Alright. Okay. Let's give this for a little bit. Could you please distract more stray boats? Well, I am gonna do this for you right now. I'm gonna go full throttle into that thing. And back up and ram it again. Wow. I knew this was a terrible idea, playing a parking game. On that note, because I'm so useless, you let me know what you think. I think there is a good opportunity to make a less punitive, hyper-casual version of these parking games. Looks like a lot of fun, but way too in-depth with the controls for me. Yeah, I think the control system is good. I'm a little bit disappointed that it's a bit weird for me, 6 at best. But I think there's an opportunity to have a lot of fun with this and make it less simulator-like, and more fun. Because the crashing into the boats was a lot of fun. And just let us burn through some of these levels real quick, and bashing them up is kind of fun as well. See, that I should have won then. I definitely should have completed that. Why am I not winning here? There you go. See, this is my point, right? I think there's a room that should have been easier. So it's a 6, a 5, a 5. If you have not already, put your vote in there before we do a wrap up today. And if you haven't done already, hit the like button, because you might as well. Because there's a load of people on the stream and there's not enough likes. So do us a favour. They have elbow. Most certainly. They have worked really well in the past. I think the problem with this one for me is it's somewhere in between. It kind of wants to be a simulator. It's got some really good features in it. I think it needs to decide which way. Is it going to be a bit more of a bash 'em up, or is it going to be... See, I should be moving now. But anyway, there we go. So that's basically going to wrap it up for today. A weird choice, I think. What did we play today? We played Level Up Balls, which we wasted a long time on today, but I wasn't expecting that to wait so long, like level 18 or level 15 or whatever it was, to get to some kind of interest in the level design. And when I mean that, by the skewing of the paths and per the screenshots, I think they messed up royally there, and they should have brought that in earlier. My motivation was, honestly, I would have bailed. I would have bailed a lot sooner. Can in the chat said that people were bailing on his game at level 4. Like half the players, he'd lose half the players after level 4 because he's had 4 layers of the same old. And it's brutal when you think about it. I mean, how can you bail after just 4 levels? Come on now. But that's what I mean. So always think about how you can front load. How can you get them in the first 5 minutes to just hit them with like absolutely everything you got to hook them in, and then you could start tailing it down a bit. So instead of, especially on a runner, so instead of waiting, 5, 6, 7 levels to introduce it, hit them with all the cool stuff really early on to make them want to keep on playing, and then you can chill your game out a little bit and spread out the content. And that's what I would do. Front load it, hit them hard. Think about the TikTok, flick, flick, flick. You just trying to keep people's interest is impossible. So make it as if you've done some interesting stuff, chuck it in there early. Don't let me wait 15 minutes or whatever it was it took to put a little rubbish kind of arch bonus. Oh, it was just underwhelming. Too little, too late. I really wanted to like that more. They built it really well. I just think they got the pace of the game really wrong on that. And there's no way that people are going to wait 15 minutes to try and get to that. Royal Defense from Voodoo. A very interesting take on tower defense. Look really good. That one's going to be tricky for me because you start off with a single arrow, and then you get you build that up and build that up. You get bigger weapons, faster firepower, and then you get like helpers to put on the ground, like a classic tower defense. We had some bombs, we had spearmen, which we could choose, which was really nice. Then we could build a wall. We were going up that map, heading towards a castle. So it looks like a lot more deep meta in that game, which I really like. Realistic graphics, which worked really well for that game. So pretty good overall. Colette played it on the phone, said the controls were really good. Felt a little grindy to me, but those start of those games always will. That is a really tricky balancing act. But knowing Voodoo, they've tested that to the nth degree, and it felt just about the right time for me, that it was starting to pick up and becoming way more fun, which is exactly what didn't happen on that first game. And lastly, the boat parking. That seemed like more of a casual developer or studio had built that. I think there's room for the parking games. They're a lot of fun. I think they need to be way more forgiving, way more hyper-casually. The hyper-casual gameplay with the casual meta, the hybrid casual, right? Deeper gameplay, more meaningful, stronger motivational pulls, and better controls and less punitive. The archery game has potential. So make level 1 as the tutorial, level 2 as the full content, and then start the actual level design. Yes. For the tutorial, if you're talking about a runner, right, you just have them run up a little wiggly track with the most important thing for your onboarding and your level 1 as a tutorial is just make it a no death situation so your player can't die. So pretty much they can do whatever they want without any implications because you don't want to punish them straight away. Level 2 introduced a few of the little bits, but just don't hold all the stuff back. So when you had your idea for that game, you had all these cool ideas. I'm just saying push them way further forward in your plan than you were thinking of. Front load it. Let me go to level 3 and go, oh, cool. Rather than wait to level 18 and think, oh, cool, because I literally won't be around for that amount of time. Does that make sense? So yeah, level 1, a non-death tutorial, just a free, get the idea of it, and make sure you give them a nice reward at the end. So at the front of that level, I get to the end, confetti, boom. Instead of that, doing that 25%, give them a free thingy straight away. So when I'm playing the game, I want to be rewarded, instant satisfaction, instant reward. I got to the end and oh wow, I got a free thingamabob, right? And then the next time, I got a free thingamabob, okay. And then you're rewarding them each time, and then you can start spreading it out. And then when I get to the third level, then I get to 25%. So now I know that I know everything that's happening without just like repeating for no reason whatsoever. Exactly. I actually learned that from you. More funky obstacles and fun triggers on the sea, yeah. No start with no implications level. Exactly. A free level. That's all the onboarding, because if I can't die, there's no problem. I just get used to it and then I can start playing the game. Well, it's good to hear, Elbow, that you learned something from me. That's made my day. That is what we're here for. I am trying to help you guys. And yeah, don't forget, come and join us on the Discord. Share your stuff over there. Always comment on that. But it's going to wrap it up today. But yeah, front load your stuff. especially now that you have that information that you're losing half your players on level 4. That's disappointing because that game looked really good, right? Have a relaxing weekend and please don't take any real phones for a drive. Well, that's not very nice, is it? That's just mean, in fact, but you're right. Captain Kevin will be docked at the port of nothing. I don't know, but yeah, no, I won't. No driving, no nothing, I promise. So yeah, no Academy live next week, just to let you know. So we will be returning around about the 4th, 5th of November for Bonfire Night or whatever it is. So no Academy live next week, unfortunately, but you can head on over to the Discord and chat there. We'll be pasting up some new games throughout the week, and make sure you head over and join us over there. Come and say hello, and we'll be there throughout the week with just no live stream, unfortunately, next week. That's about it from me today, so I hope you enjoyed that. If you haven't done and you want to go and check out all the cool stuff we've got inside Homa Lab, be sure to follow the links down below. Create yourself an account. We've got a market watcher. There's all sorts of great tools for your game dev to help you improve all of the stuff to make you a better game designer and choose the right game ideas. There's so much coming. I am busting to get my hands on it myself, but it will be with you soon. But yeah, you'll be releasing your game real soon. Okay, let us know. Can't wait to see it. So that's it from me. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. And remember, Julie, games don't make themselves. See you later, guys.